Okay, it's 7
Spy
o'clock
of
Central
Harry.
Time.
Oh, it's a Saturn.
There's a Saturn.
I'm here.
Fashionably
Wonderful.
late, or fashionably on time, I should say.
I'm always
Meh.
starting at the time. I just jump in right at the time.
You're
A
a
wizard
minute
is
late
never
for our
late.
meeting.
Now, I wouldn't say
They're right.
always Saturn.
All right.
Okay.
Let's get started.
Just waiting for the last few people to jump in here. Sometimes we have some late stragglers.
Well, aren't stragglers usually late? I'll shush. I'm feeling feisty today. I'm in a good mood.
A lunatic. Okay. FC chat's funny. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and
That's
I'm
okay.
gonna
So
go
is
ahead and
regular
get started
chat.
when Zell tells me that he is streaming.
We got Ruski over here saying, "Hey, Urus, down in front."
We're live.
Okay. All right, well, thanks everybody for coming. If this is your first meeting, we're going to go over some basic information and introductions with some of the officers and myself. So I'm really happy that you came if this is your first meeting, because you get to learn a little bit about the guild. If this is not your first meeting, we may go over some information that you've heard probably several times already. But it's always good to hear those reminders, and we always go over some same things in every meeting so that the new people can hear it as well. Everybody's being pretty funny in FC chat. You guys are making me laugh.
When are they not?
I know, it's funny.
Well, I believe Dark Falls has the right mind frame.
All right, well, so some basic introduction. So my game name is Saturn Return. I do also have Saturn Return with an E and Saturn Returns with an S, as well as Saturn Returns with a Z. So I don't have. Well, I don't have a fourth account right now because I'm waiting for Black Friday. Well, I'm waiting for Black Friday to come out, so the game goes on sale usually 50% off. At least it did last year. And we do currently have 4 FCs under the Sword umbrella. The names are the Mortal Sword, which is this one. It is the original one that we first created back in October of 2017. So this month is actually our 2-year anniversary.
Yay.
Everybody clap now.
Yay! Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, they're obedient.
That's awesome. Oh my god, thank you. Thank you for
Clan.
Okay, we also formed the Immortal Sword secondly, and then the Eternal Sword and the Temporal Sword is the most recent guild that we formed. So there is currently not a theme to any of those guilds. The reason why we did this is that back in 2018, as the guild began to grow, we had a lot of different interests, a lot of different people in the guild. Eurus asked in FC chat, will there be themes? I'm undecided. I think it would be difficult to recruit for a theme, but it is not something that's off the table. So maybe in the future, I'm definitely not throwing that idea out. But for now, there's not themes right now. So at one time back in 2018, we actually reached the max amount of people that the guild could have, 512 people. And we actually had 125 people online during the same time, and it was really, really claustrophobic. As you can imagine, it was kind of uncomfortable because there was a lot of people talking in the FC chat all the time, and many of the people did not feel that they would be able to get promoted very quickly within the guild or have a leadership role that wanted leadership roles. So some of the trending reasons that people would leave the guild back then is that they wanted to eventually get rank in the guild and be a part of something bigger. And over time, we started the idea that we would branch out and make multiple FCs. So when we did the multiple FCs, we sometimes will have officers we'll have members or veterans transfer from one guild to another guild to become an officer there to help out with that community that's maybe lacking. Or sometimes we also have the ability for people to become more highlighted in their own guild that they may have been just lost in the crowd if they were a part of such a larger guild. So for us, it was actually really beneficial. And That's why we made more FCs after Immortal started. We made Eternal and then Temporal because it was really great to be able to see these personalities come out that we probably would not have seen when we had 125 people online at one time in one guild with 512 max amount of people in the guild. So that is a brief introduction about why we have several guilds. It allows us to still reap the benefits of having a larger network within Sword and still also give back to people, whether it be prizes, whether it be chocobo fruits for coloring your chocobo, shards, crystals, clusters, things like that. So we still offer the same things across the board. Nine Lives said, "Yeah, I always wave to any sword I find," he says in FC chat. Yeah, and it's
I
really
do as
nice
well.
to be able to see other swordies running around. So I really like the whole multifaceted multi FC thing because it seems to do more good than I'm not seeing any cons right now. So other than that, as far as my introduction goes with things that I like, during Sigma Escape and Alpha Escape, I did enjoy raiding all the time, but I'm moving across the country, and so because of that, I, for the last several months, have not been able to really get into raiding this tier. However, I plan to get into raiding next month and start to learn all of them and get back into the groove of raiding. But Brewski says we still love you, Saturn. I also like helping the lobies and the sprouts, of course, and I'm right now the only main recruiter for the guild. Rox has helped me, and some of the other officers have helped me as well. But as far as recruiting on a regular basis, I'm kind of the only one. But if any of you guys want to help with recruiting, please feel free because it can be a very exhausting job sometimes with finding new friends to join us, and we have so much to offer.
Yep, she's always hard at work right in the middle of Limsa Lominsa.
But I know if you see me dancing in Limsa, I'm recruiting in Limsa.
Hard at work.
She got me in Gridania.
she
She
didn't
found me
touch
in
me.
an open field.
See, she didn't
She got
touch
me in
me.
Olda.
Nature Boy got me. Ha!
Yes, Nature Boy actually has recruited several people. He's very good at networking. Cyfix said, "Can anyone recruit?" I think we did. We lifted the application so they can apply and with an application. I may start making the ranks where any member can invite. We did not have it turned on last month because we kind of had a upswing in activity and we don't ever want to get too big in one guild, so we had turned on off applications, but we recently turned them back on, so we'll probably make it so any member can invite if they want. Okay, so we're gonna go on with our other officer introductions. So the next rank that we have is Cloak and Dagger. Cloak and Dagger is a rank of officers where they've been in the guild the longest out of all the officers except for the founders. And they help me with across the board with all the FCs, any sort of overarching decision making or things like that. So I'll let them introduce themselves first for any of them that are here.
Hello, I'm Kamed. I run the mini games. If you have no idea what those are, if you go to the Discord and look at role and event assignment, you could click on the minigame icon and see what I'm talking about. I do time attack, hide and seek, and parkour challenge, which usually all of them happen to refresh every weekend. Today was time attack and hide and seek, and tomorrow will be parkour. And the prizes are usually 1 million gills. Sometimes they're bigger, sometimes they're fun. So go ahead and give it a shot.
Zell, are you here?
Yeah, I thought Sarah was here.
Oh, is
Sarah-
No,
he's
Sarah's
babysitting.
babysitting.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. All right. Well, I guess it's my turn then. Hi, my name is Zell. I run our Twitch and YouTube channels. And I was running our Gilded site, but that is no longer a thing for us.
Yeah,
That's
until it
about all I
broke
do.
down.
Which he'll talk about that more later.
Much later.
I can stand in for Sarah. Hi, I'm Canadian. I love maple syrup and poutine.
Wow.
But the
That's
problem is
Get
actually
lucky, eh?
spot on.
That was
That's-
actually
that's
pretty
a
good.
the problem is
perfect
you grow
interpretation.
facial hair.
That's
No,
true.
the problem is he cannot grow facial hair.
Oh,
No, but I have
he's
facial
gonna
hair.
listen to this stream later and get back to you guys.
Yeah.
Also,
Well, you can't grow facial hair, eh?
As
Okay,
Saro, if you see me, throw mint in my general direction.
So Saro is the other Cloak and Dagger and admin of the Discord. So right now we have Kemed and Saro and Zell. And so like they said, Saro's babysitting right now, so he's not here.
Sarah
So
does
any-
wonderful with recording and streaming too. So
Mhm.
as he's part of our Degenerates rating group, so feel free to watch them. Fail
yeah,
and entertain us all.
and succeed.
And succeed.
Okay, so any of the other Mortal Sword officers can introduce yourself now.
I guess I'll go first. I'm Huggy Cactus, not Khajiit. Yes, I know it's a weird name. I run mostly the map parties for 1.0, and as you may have noticed, map parties almost all the time.
Addict.
I also take care of the gardening at the FCs, growing mostly onions and Cloud's Breath right now for prizes, and we do give out Favnarian onions to those who want them within reason. So just feel free to ask an officer if you need a Favnarian onion. They can get it for you.
Thank you.
I guess I'll go next. I'm Yukina Cook. I am your Lotto mistress, and I also run Mount Farms every week. Lotto is every 2 weeks. This week coming up, it's actually going to be rolled by Florida since I'm going to be not home all day on the 13th. So, but I can explain that a little bit later.
All right.
I'll go next. Hey everyone, I'm Jalen. I am one of the resident Omnicrafters. And if anyone is leveling their crafters needs the crafting level quests, I have kits and I can make more, and I will gladly give them. So just let me know.
I guess I'll jump in here. I'm Captain Biggest. I'm more of a general guy. I craft, I gather, I fight, I do everything that everyone does, but I'm not much of an event leader. But if you have any questions or need information, I pretty much have it. I've been playing since day one of 1.0, so I've been around for a while.
Thank you. Whoever else wants to go.
Alright, I guess I'll jump in. So, I am Begone Thought. Current.
I
Sorry,
still love his name.
He says it so seriously.
I know, right?
Yeah, you have to say that
Begone
better.
Thought.
None thoughts
Oh my goodness.
with power. Anyways,
I gotta say it with some feeling. So I am the resident shenanigan master. If you want to get into any trouble, come see me.
And Yuki said that Yuki in 3.0 said that she was gonna try to see about you running POTD.
Yes. I'm planning on running POTD with Yuki from 3.0 as well as Heaven on High, depending on how many people want to run Heaven on High. And I might also start up Fate farms because who doesn't like a good Fate farm?
Nice.
And you're running Prey during the event, right?
I don't mention it. I've run it so many times already. But yeah, if anybody wants to run Prey for the tombstones for the event, I am running it pretty much consistently and all the time that I am on this character. So if you want to grab some tombstones, feel free to send me a message. I'll add you to the party.
Thanks. I think what all we have left in the channel is Hefty and Joe, I think, that are here.
Nature's here too, at least.
Oh, he's here. Okay.
He's in the
Oh,
voice.
there he is. Okay.
My name's Joe. I'm an Omnicrafter, and if you ever need any help, don't be afraid to shoot me a text.
Yay.
yay.
Well, I
Hefty?
guess I'll go now.
Okay.
I'm Hefty. I am one of the night officers. I'm there to help people that can't normally get on during the day, just to help them run things. Sometimes I'll give out random prizes, holding little contests, just to keep everybody interested and just so there's someone there to help.
Thanks. And Nature, are you able to talk or?
Hey, I'm Nature Boy, and I hunt.
Yeah, that's pretty much his thing.
That's very
That's
well.
pretty much his
Probably
thing.
like the best long and short
Yeah.
description ever.
He literally like hunts every day, all day.
He lives for the
No,
hunt.
he knows
Do
everything about the
other
hunts.
things.
If you have questions about the hunts, definitely ask him.
Hunt boy. Yeah.
Hunt
Okay,
boy.
so
That should be your name.
And
we do
Emrys is accurate.
we do have a couple other Mortal Sword officers, but they are just not here right now because they're either on vacation or real life, what have you. So that being said, if they come to a meeting, you'll hear their introductions and you can obviously look in the roster to see who they are. So I'll move on with some of the reminders as well. So we do offer several regular things for those of you that are new to the guild. If you are wanting to level your crafter, we offer crystal shards and clusters to anybody who's wanting those to help with leveling your crafters. So all you got to do is ask an officer. We'll get it out for you. And give you, several hundred at a time, whatever you need. We do send the airships off to be able to collect those back, and we get donations and things like that to try to restock all of those. So don't be afraid to ask. That's what it's there for. We also have fruit in the FC chest to dye your company chocobo. If you're newer to the game, once you get to about level 20, you'll get a quest called My Little Chocobo, and you will get your first mount, your company chocobo. And you can color it. It's not going to always be that ugly desert yellow. You can actually change it to something else. There is a website that will tell you the fruit that you need to feed your chocobo in the stable in a very specific order, or you will not get the color you want. However, if you mess up the color and you would like to try to feed it again and try to get the color you actually want, we'll keep giving you fruit until you get the color that you want, because we have a lot of fruit and it's easy to grow those items too. So yes, if you would like to dye your chocobo, just ask us and we can give you the link to the website that tells you the directions and then also the fruit that you need. For some of those that are lower level, it can sometimes be expensive for those of the lower level people. And then also, Rox is going to be doing an FC room decorating contest. Is she here tonight?
I am.
Okay. I didn't know if you wanted to talk about that, and then I'll tell them about we offer.
Okay, so it's Spoopy month. It's October and Halloween and all things awesome. So we are doing the room decorating contest this month, and it is, of course, haunted house themed. So please join in and decorate your room spoopy, scary, festive, autumn, however you want to do it. There's lots of different categories and lots of fun prizes, and it's going to be a really good time. And the judging is October 30th in the evening.
Yeah, so with that being said, if any of you cannot afford a room in the FC house, we'll give you 300k gil to buy a room in the FC house. This is if you cannot afford it. If you can afford it, we ask that you just, buy it yourself. But we do want everyone to have the opportunity to participate in the FC room decorating contest. So if you do need the gil, we'd be happy to buy an FC room for you. We usually do the FC room decorating contests quarterly. We don't do them all the time because some of you already may know furniture items or things to decorate can be a little expensive. And if we did that every month, all of you would go broke probably with trying to change your rooms and decorate them. So we usually do those not, every other month or every 3 or 4 months. And then as far as the buffs go, we also have a buff schedule that we follow. We always keep up Heat of the Battle. That's always something that we keep up. But we also have a secondary buff as well that we keep up. And if you go to the bulletin board under Mortal Sword in Discord, it's the bulletin board, and look under pinned messages. Hug a Cactus has listed the schedule that we follow. So if those of you are wanting to get MGP at Golden Saucer, Friday is when we have Jackpot up. Or if you're wanting to level your gathering or crafting, that's Saturday and Sunday. So just letting everybody know that we go based off of the buff schedule that's listed under the bulletin board in the Mortal Sword. Okay, so we also have some reminders about Discord, some explanations about some of the channels that are not just public. So we have a few request only channels, and for those of you that don't know, when you first join Discord, you're going to be able to see all the public channels that are just open access to all guild members. But request only channels may have certain themes involved that may not be necessarily something that we just want to spring on you right off the bat. You might want to request to be a part of that channel because it could contain explicit memes or what have you. So we have some of those channels. If you would like to be added, let us know. So the list of those channels, we have an NSFW channel. We have a 50 Shades of Sword channel, which is basically an ERP channel that you can read. We have NSFS, which is not safe for snowflakes. It's more any kind of meme, whether it's explicit or not, just mostly just memes and shit posting. We also have the Powder Puff channel, which is for real life gamer girls only. We have the Sword Pride channel, which is LGBT channel for other LGBT people to connect with across the board in any of the FCs. And then we also have the Mad World channel, which is for mental health awareness. If you have any depression or anxiety or things like that, and you want to talk to other people that are having a bad day, and you just want to vent and just kind of relate to other people, you can do it there and that channel as well. And these are all request only channels. So if you want to be added, message an officer and we can assign you the role. We did recently just add a new request only channel as well. It's called Between You and Me, and the tag is shush. And basically it's a channel where we can talk about things that are controversial in nature, whether it be like religion, politics, whatever, things that you don't normally ever talk about in public chats, or we don't want you to, because for fear of obviously offending people. But in this particular chat, you're entering at your own risk, and you can debate or talk about your opposing views if you like, and you can do any of those things. Somebody in the FC chat is saying, wasn't there a Spanish channel? Yes, the Spanish channel is a public channel though, so it's not a request only channel. Anybody can see it. If you would like to talk in it, please feel free if you know Spanish, because there's several Spanish speakers in the guild, and they have recently started running Spanish POTD runs where they just speak Spanish the whole time when they're in there, and they had a really fun time the last time that they went. So if you would like to talk in there, then feel free. We have a comments and suggestions channel in Discord as well, and if you're not comfortable putting any suggestions in that channel, then feel free to DM an officer or me directly. That's perfectly fine. Sometimes we get common comments or suggestions, and once we see enough, then that prompts us to make a new text channel, so to say. For example, we have an anime channel, and I didn't want to make it at first because we have so many channels, but enough people kept asking for it. So since so many people kept asking for it, then we finally made that channel. If we don't get people talking in the channels, then we do sometimes archive or expire certain channels that aren't talked in enough, since we have so many. So if you ever see channels switched around, it's probably because it was a channel that wasn't really talked in as much. We have a lot of events.
We have like one or two.
Yeah, just one or two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zell, did you want to talk about the calendar first, and then I'll go through the huge long list?
Sure. So
Okay.
previously we used Gilded and the Gilded bot to make announcements and to keep track of our events and when they were going on. However, they recently made some changes that we cannot support, and their bot no longer actually does the announcements and everything. So we have been looking into alternatives. I have set one up, however, and since Hugga mentioned his maps, I set up a test event for announcements for Monday, and if it works out well, we will use this new method of making announcements to each channel for each event.
When's its first ping due?
Sorry?
When's the calendar's first ping due?
1 hour before the event.
All right.
So we'll try that out and see how it goes. So you may see some trial and error with some pings and announcements as we start to use this new feature, because Gilded, our old calendar, they completely changed everything, and now it's super janky. So bear with us with that. Okay, so I'm gonna go over some of the events, and then some of the officers might talk about if they're a 1.0 officer, they can talk about that whenever I get to those events. So, also just to note, you may hear us use shorthand to refer to the guilds. So when I say 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, we're just saying it shorthand to refer to the mortal sword, the immortal sword, the eternal sword, or the temporal sword. So I'm just letting you know, we had that question yesterday at the Eternals meeting. A newer player asked. And just to clarify for any of you guys that are new in the guild, the mortal sword this meeting is 1.0 because you guys were created first. This was the original guild. So we just name them after the order they were created in. Does not mean that any of them are better, but I do like the pride that everyone has in their own specific guilds. And in the future, I would like to have some sort of competition between the guilds, because I think friendly competition, of course, but I think that it would be really fun to be able to have like some sort of tournament where you guys all like compete against each other and all of that. But we have not organized anything like that as of yet. The activity level does fluctuate between the guilds. Some of them are bigger, and this one is the biggest, but some of them are smaller. So because their activity level does fluctuate and the sizes fluctuate within the different guilds, I have to take some time to figure out how to make everything fair across the board whenever we decide to do some sort of decathlon or tournament or something of that nature. But it's something I want to do, like Triwizard tournament type thing.
Speedruns.
Speedruns, yeah, like represent
Wait,
Mortal Sword.
Are you talking about having an event where most everybody's a spectator, but they can't see anything?
Pretty much.
I don't know. I mean, we're not sure like what kind of event yet, but I just think that it would be really fun to have all the guilds compete against each other, and like they get prizes based on FC tourneys. Yours says whatever. So, but that's in the future.
I won't talk about jousting.
Oh, hey, I didn't know you're here.
Where?
Werehawk is one of the founders. He helped me found the guild. So he is a little retired, but he does come to a lot of the meetings, and he always shows up to the Lala Flash Mob.
Yes.
So I'll get into that in just a minute. Okay. So here are some of the events that we run or have run historically. Here we go. Are you ready for this?
2 hours later.
2 hours later. Okay.
1 eternity later.
Okay, so as some of you already know, we've run weekly map parties, and there is Hugga Cactus has a following now. It's like
It's a
almost like
cult. It's not a
religion.
following. It's a cult.
Has a following of map party enthusiasts. So Hugga, did you want to talk about it to anybody that has never done maps, like what it entails or whatever?
Yeah, sure. Maps, for those who don't know, are things you can get through gathering or buy off the market board. Sometimes they're cheap, sometimes they're not. When they're not cheap, that's might be my fault, because my group buys them all up.
Because he'll just break the market.
Buying group, he says. He has his own following.
See, I told you, it's a cult.
Well, anyways, you do a quick quest in Wine Park. I always forget the name of the quest. but it lets you decipher the maps and dig. Basically, when you decipher a map, it brings you up a crop of the area map that for each area, and you can click on it to open up that area's map. And what you have to do is find where that red X is in the crop on the main map. When you get there, you use the dig command to dig. And there's a chest that pops up. You attempt to open the chest, mobs spawn, kill the mobs, and then you can open the chest fully. The maps we do are group maps, 8-player maps. So there's a chance for a portal to pop out of that chest, as well as the regular loot of Gil, Goisha tomes, whatever, small items, and potentially some big items. Then you do the portal to do the dungeon. The dungeons where you get more loot, more Gil, and it's just a lot of fun.
If you've not ever run maps, doing one will make you a believer.
Yeah. I run a whole bunch of pickup groups throughout the week lately, but our official one is going to be Monday night at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, just be honest. You run them when you're bored.
That too.
I ran them when I'm bored. I run more.
No, you have no idea. I will hear him at like 1 o'clock in the morning going, "All right, yeah, over there, get him."
Like, me and Yuki are roommates. That's how she hears me.
He's my basement troll. Anyways.
Okay, yeah. So, to summarize, maps you can make a lot of money and you can get a lot of really cool stuff. So you should totally come to a map party. They're extremely easy. They don't take a lot of skill, and you can have a good time with other sword members. But whether listening to music or just hanging out, getting to know one another for a few hours or an hour, however long they decide, till you run out of maps, what have you. So a lot of people in the guild run map parties, and they're a really, really easy event to do. Like I said, it doesn't take any skill like raiding or things like that. So anybody can do it as long as you're high enough level and you have the ability to do that. Also, if you don't have flying in certain zones, a lot of the people that go to the raids have 2-seater mounts that they can fly you, and they're mostly. I've never met anybody that was mean enough to be like, no, you can't ride in my Uber car. So if they are, that's awfully mean and they shouldn't do that. But everybody offers to have a seat, so you can come along for the ride. We also have mount farming. So Yukina, did you want to talk about that?
Sure. I run a weekly mount farm event that happens every Sunday. I run 2 events, or 2 times, I should say. One is at usually 8 p.m. Eastern, and the second one starts at 11 p.m. Eastern for those who can't make the 8 p.m. I usually put a poll in the mount farm announcements, and the top 2 votes are the primals that we will go after. And between the time that the poll ends to the time the day before mount farms, I don't mind helping people with unlocking the EX trials that are needed if you voted for them. It's just the day of, I'm really busy sometimes with both the lotto and the mount farms, so that's why I can't do unlocks for you guys. But before then, sure, more than welcome to help you out with it. And we try to get it through as fast as possible, so I run them unsynced, and we just go for whistles for an hour per primal. So 2 hours each run.
Yeah, you can get different mounts that are really neat, and some people like to collect mounts. So, if you are wanting to, look online or see what kind of mounts drop from what, you can do that. And she's happy to answer, when she might be doing that next or voting or, what have you. So,
And if you're new and actually want to join in for the mount farms, there is under the role and event assignment tab in our Discord. You'll just have to click the little reaction that allows you to get that, and then you can join us.
Yes. We also do a monthly glam contest. So, Rox is going to be taking over the glam contest right now, and it can fluctuate between different FC houses. So it's not always going to be at this FC house. It's at a sword FC house, just maybe not this one. So, Rox, did you want to mention anything about it? if you're still here.
I am.
Okay.
The glam contest, I'm also going Halloween themed costumes, cosplay, scary costumes, however you want to do it. It's gonna be probably sometime later this month. I haven't nailed down a date yet. I will be putting out a poster, and there will be lots of fun prizes, and it's gonna be a good time. And I hope you all join.
Yes. And as far as the glam, sometimes with the prizes that we give out, we can sometimes give out Fireglass vests, or I think that's what it's called, right? Hugga Fireglass vest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hooded fiberglass vest.
Yeah, that one, they can be really expensive. The indigo shirt sometimes, things like that. I like to give out prizes that are related sometimes to the event. So with the Chocobo racing event, it's fun to give out cool bardings, and with the glam contest, it's fun to give out glam prizes. But that's not to say we won't give out other miscellaneous prizes as well. So just letting everyone know, we do have a monthly glam contest. We already talked about the FC room decorating contest. We used to historically have a monthly glam makeover giveaway where we would give away just basically we would make somebody over, whatever. They would go online, pick out what they wanted to make themselves over with. If they were new to glam, an officer would go over with them how to set up their what is it called, the templates, or the
Glamour
plates,
plates?
the glamour plates. I have not used them in for so long. The glam plates. And so they would go over how to use the glam plates with them if needed, and then there would be a winner every month that would win a makeover. We haven't done that for a little while, but at one point in time we did, so we may eventually bring that back. Depending on the officers we have or the people in the guild that are willing to kind of, facilitate things like these events or activities, you may see those things being recycled or going away for a while and coming back. So it really just depends on how many people we have to help us with things like that. So we also have weekly raid learning parties. Right now we're doing E1S and also the um, trial, extreme trial learning parties. As far as the learning parties go, you might see us start pushing rating a lot more starting next month, because in the wintertime, the activity historically does drop a little bit more, and the content's been out for a while. We have more and more Omni crafters that are able to facilitate getting gear for people that need that. And so rating tends to help keep that retention, getting people into in-game content, showing them that it's not as scary as what Party Finder makes it out to be, helping teach them as well about how they're able to gear themselves properly, or what the rotations are, or great websites that they need to go to, or here's some guides that you can look at that are the strategies that we use, or what have you, for the mechanics in the raids. So we do have learning parties. We may eventually start having clear parties for those that have attended the learning parties more frequently and have put in the time and put in the effort to really learn. They might have gotten to enrage multiple times, but they just haven't quite got that clear yet. We may start having clear parties, which again, it's for people who have learned it, got to probably enrage multiple times. They just haven't got the actual clear. So learning parties are for those that are really new. When you go to a learning party, you should not expect to clear. However, several of our learning parties have been lucky enough, with the great teachers that we have and the awesome people who have worked together, to be able to clear during a learning party, when normally when you go to a learning party, you really just don't know what's going to happen. So um, if you guys are interested in learning parties, we do have general raid announcements, and we also have those events posted as well. And those are weekly events, but we do the learning parties. Um, Speaking of those raids, I'm gonna unmute you, Ruski, and let you talk about your new event. Normally officers can talk, but I'm gonna unmute you if you want to talk about your retro raids. If not, I'll talk about your own event.
Do it, Risky. Don't let her do it.
Oh my god! I
Micro
unmuted
work.
him. I unmuted him, so he should be able to talk.
Risky.
Oh,
All,
I was
all she'll
muted.
talk about is the
Oh, there
stock.
he is.
I muted
Hi, Zay.
myself. My
There
bad.
he is.
Hello.
Double
Like,
muted.
tell them
Hello.
about how you do what you do.
I will definitely do that. Hello, everybody. I am Ruski Batsky. Every Thursday, I host Rooskies Retro Rumble. It's where we go back and do the old school raids like all the coils, all the Alexanders. Next week we have all of the escapes coming up. So if you guys want to get into that, we run it every Thursday at 7 o'clock and 9:30, both Central Time. Just let me know if you want in. You'll see the post that I put out in General Raid and sometimes LFG, and hope to see you out there.
Thanks. So it was really popular. I noticed a lot of the people in the channel the last time that you ran it. So it was a really big success. And I will commend you on this, Ruski, a lot because in the past we have had people talk in the guild about how they wanted to host old raid events and they've tried to make announcements. They've tried to get people involved and they could not get the attendance that you got. So I seriously commend you for getting that kind of popularity with this type of event that we've in the past historically always tried to run, but just never got the popularity that you did. So thank you for that.
Everyone clap.
Thank all you guys.
Poor Risky is like, what the hell?
Ooh, very obedient FC. Like
Oh
it.
my god.
Joking.
Okay, so
I still love y'all.
we also have so went over that the lottery. Do you want to talk about the lottery?
I guess so. Like I said before, I am your lotto mistress. I'm only human. I do make mistakes, but when I find them, and I fix them. So please bear with me. I'm human. But lotto is run every. Yeah, I know, right? I'm human. Lotto is run every 2 weeks. Your ticket prices are as follows. For Mortal Sword, it's 50k for 1, 200k gil for 5, 300k gil for 10. There is no limit to how many tickets you can get. We actually have revamped our prizes. They actually got bigger and better because, well, we kind of want to see you guys get some better stuff because you guys deserve it. So if you hit 5 million donated total, there is a prize that gets added, which is any weapon glam as long as it's not Shadowbringers. If 12 mil is donated, you hit up the next tier, which adds on a wind-up minion of your choosing. 20 million total donated means tier 3, which means you get a crafted minion as long as it's not a wind-up minion. 35 million donated is tier 4, which gets you a $7 Mog Station credit. And then if 50 million is donated, that is tier 5, which adds on a prize of an officer-assisted clear. Any officer of your choosing can help you clear any dungeon or instance with exceptions. We're not going to run savage raids for you, sorry.
Well, we are gonna do clear parties though coming up soon. If you've put in the time, then we'll help you with the clear. Yeah.
Of course, for that. But I'm talking. But for
Yeah,
the
yeah.
lotto part, it's
Oh
you know with some limitation. If you
Is
want
this
to
she's
run like
gonna
an
kill
Eden,
you?
no, if you want to run like an Eden normal, we can
you're-
help you. But
No, you're said I choose Saturn for U4S. That's what they're laughing at.
oh
Does
god,
it-
we will kill you.
Does this include the Sasha Extreme?
Oh god.
Oh jeez, no. For that, you probably would actually get 4
Silly,
off.
she might do that.
Saturn actually cleared the entirety of
So-
E4S in one day.
Hi, babe.
I know that Jalen had donated a Night Pegasus whistle at one time,
Yep.
and then Joe Lyons has also, I think, donated some really big prizes for the lottery at some
Joe
point.
Lyons has just donated pretty much
Yeah,
his
I know.
savings account. Are you kidding me?
I know.
He's one of our bigger donators.
Yes.
No, we did. I think it was when we first introduced the new prizes. Jalen had donated a Night Pegasus whistle.
Yeah.
Which, if I'm not mistaken, Sylvie
It's like 14
won,
million gil.
if I remember correctly. But yeah, no, it's definitely yeah. And Amrius won the big old jackpot of like 25 mil something.
Yeah.
It
So,
was great. But yeah, the
definitely
more you donate, the
Yeah,
more you donate, the bigger the prizes are. It's great.
Yes. So thank you for going over that. And if you have other questions as well, Yukina is running that, and then she is having somebody substitute to run the lotto for her while she's on vacation of sorts.
Yes.
And so
Florida's gonna run it. I'm gonna make sure I have the numbers up until Wednesday, and then it's on him.
okay. And then I'm going to try to go over the other events as quickly as I can because we have about 15 minutes left and I have a few promotions as well. So if I miss something, I apologize, but I'll probably go over this the next meeting as well. So we're going to do more POTD and HOH, which stands for Palace of the Dead and Heaven on High runs. It's a great way to level and get gil or items. So there's different hairstyles, there's different minions that drop. So it's also a good way to level pretty quickly while just grinding out floors. If you get to higher level floors, then the bigger the things that drop for you. So if you have questions about that, like Begone said, he's really interested in it. And then an officer in Eternal Sword, Yuki Gao, is also wanting to get more into that as well. So if you have any questions about those, you might be seeing some upcoming announcements about Palace of the Dead and Heaven on High. We also have a usually quarterly Lala flash mob. And the Lala flash mob is where we Fantasia into Lalas, or if you're already a Lala, that's great. You're great for the event. And we chase the potato farmer around, which is a male row that one of the founders in the guild, Warden, has, and he chases us sometimes as Lalas. We go to all the major cities. We cry out hashtag Potato Lives Matter. You'll never mash us alive. Ah, and like we run around the streets of Limsa. We usually pick up other guilds or other people that are outside of the FC. It's really funny. Everybody laughs. They're like, as we run past, everybody's like, oh my God, what the heck? 40 plus Lalas just ran past us in Limsa. I don't even know what's going on. So it's really funny, but we typically only
What
do
is
that every
that?
so often.
Are you playing Smash right now?
I was about to say, I heard Link flying off of a ledge.
We actually had somebody give us 1,000,000 gil one time for this.
Yeah,
This
we visited
process.
different people and they're like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. Here, take 1,000,000 gil as a donation just for like making me laugh this hard. So it was really funny. We'll probably be doing that again soon, but letting you know that it is something that comes up every so often since Fantasia, not everyone can afford Fantasias. We don't do it every month or anything. We also have had quarterly screenshot contests or for holiday screenshot contests. Some people, unfortunately, are not able to be online all the time for some of the events that are scheduled on the weekends or in the evenings. So Komed has his mini games that he runs, and that can be done anytime. But we also have other things as well that come up on a less frequent occasion than his weekly mini games, and that's like the screenshot contest where we'll have a deadline. You can submit a screenshot that's like a holiday glam or what have you, and then you can win prizes at your convenience over a certain allotted time period that we post. So we in the past have done diadem events. We have also done PvP events as well. But again, it just depends on the popularity, what the people are asking for, and if we have somebody to host these events. You do not have to be an officer to host an event. I don't know if there was ever a misconception that you do. It just seems like a lot of the time, the people that gain more visibility or they're able to get people together tend to be people that play all the time and then naturally they over time can become promoted to be an officer. That being said, as well, with officers' questions. So, being that 1.0 is the largest FC out of all the Sword FCs, um, we naturally have more candidates that would probably be really good to be an officer. And also, we have a lot of candidates who have been in the guild for a really long time. So, not only are they good candidate wise for their activity or their contributions, but also because they've been in the guild longer since it's been around the longest. With that being said, you may see some officers transfer to other guilds, or you may see offers for people to transfer from this guild to another guild to become an officer because the other guilds are smaller and they may need help, but you'd still be part of the same conglomerate. It's just we can't promote everybody in the Mortal Sword, but a lot of you are really, really good candidates. And there's a lot of you that are just joining the guild that I see as really good candidates to become officers at some point in time if you were ever to be interested. So, don't be deterred if you don't get promoted now. The way to become an officer, though, is like you would need to ask us most of the time. If we're looking for officers, sometimes we might approach you But if we're not currently looking for officers, then you can ask us, how do I become one? If you say you're willing to move to another guild, that helps a lot, because not everyone can be an officer in one guild. So um oh, we also have trivia nights as well every Tuesday. We also have human darts. Human darts is where there's a human bullseye that stands at the bottom of a cliff, and we're all human darts, and we jump off and we try to get as close as we can to the human bullseye. You win prizes. In the past, we've had a murder mystery event where people act out a skit, and you can interact with our homemade NPCs. Guess who the killer is at the end. You may win a prize. We also had a chocobo racing event. It didn't gain as much traction the first time, but she is going to offer it again. Ceres is. She's on vacation right now, but when she gets back, she plans on trying to host that again. So that is a brief description of some of the events that we have or currently do still offer in the guild.
And did we talk about Hex Trivia Tuesdays?
Yeah, I said we do have the trivia every Tuesday.
Oh, I should probably pay attention then.
It's just a lot.
I didn't
tried-
hear you say anything about Text Trivia Tuesdays.
I just said trivia Tuesdays.
Yeah, what about Text Trivia Tuesday?
Oh my god.
Have you
Okay.
heard
We have
about
9
Text Trivia
minutes.
Tuesdays?
Yes, so we have 9 minutes left. We still have prizes, and we also have promotions. So we do have a couple of promotions. So the first promotions we want to do to Honor Guard for now is this person has been in the guild for a little while. One of the memorable moments that I remember with him is when he came to the glam contest and the theme was back to school, and he put a dunce cap on, and I don't know why, but it just tickled me. I just thought it was really funny. So anyway, he's also been participating in the Spanish chat a lot, and he had come up with the idea along with a couple of the other officers to do a Spanish run either by maps or POTD. So we are going to promote 9 lives to Honor Guard.
Congratulations!
Congratulations.
Yes.
Yes, 9, you.
Trying to find him in here. Here he is. Okay. The other person that we're going to promote, you just heard him talk. He just recently started a really popular old raid event that he's been doing, and he's been really talkative in the guild and really active as well. So we're going to promote Ruski to Honor Guard.
Congrats, Risky.
Congrats, Risky.
Congrats!
Congratulations!
In fact, Ruski is going to be helping me out with Mount Farms this on the 13th. So.
Oh, that's awesome. And again, if anybody does want to become an officer, let me know, because I might be doing some switching around of any 1.0 officers that are willing to move currently, or any that are not officers now that are willing to go to a different guild to be an officer within Sword, just not in 1.0. Just let me know. Okay, and then we also have one officer promotion. This person has been in the guild for over a year, a little over a year. He took a little hiatus, but then he came back, and he's been really, really helpful. He's also one of the officers that's going with us to the real life meetup in St. Louis at the end of this month in 3 weeks. We're going to meet each other in real life. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I can hardly wait. Yes, there's a bunch of the officers that are all going, and we are sharing an Airbnb together. It's going to be like an episode of The Real World on MTV. I know, like, my age is showing, but it's going to be really fun.
There
So-
better be video.
Huh? Video?
Oh, we're gonna live stream
Yeah,
the whole thing.
We're gonna
St.
try to
Louis is
see
gonna
if we
burn
can-
to the ground.
We're gonna try to see if we can film Kamed going into the haunted house. Oh, I'm gonna try. Okay, so anyway, but this person's been in the guild a very long time. He's very helpful, and he has recently been able, due to his real life, he's now able to be on all the time. He was really active before as well, so we are going to promote Sylvie to officer.
Yay, Sylvie!
Yay, Sylvie!
Yay! Congratulations!
Clap.
Very much clappy.
And then I also have one other announcement that you guys are going to be kind of sad about. It's like good and it's like bittersweet. So, we've also decided to promote another officer. However, this officer will be leaving the mortal sword to help out the immortal sword. So this person is gonna. It's bittersweet, but we think that this person shares a passion like Hug a Cactus for maps. And like that, and that this person will be able to really drum up a lot of enthusiasm within the Immortal Sword and bring an element to that guild that we love here in Mortal, and hope that they can also give the same enthusiasm there to help out with that community. So obviously this person's still around in the Discord. They're not going anywhere permanently, but they just will be transferring to the Immortal Sword to be an officer there. So we want to congratulate Amris.
Congratulations.
So I told her that since she's not official officer until tomorrow at their meeting, that I said that she could still roll tonight because she's technically not an officer yet until
you
tomorrow.
lucky little.
She's not an officer until tomorrow.
She found a loophole.
She did find the loophole.
And watch
Lucky
her
little
win.
thing.
Yes. Okay. So Zelda, you want to talk about how the prizes work? I will name off the prizes really quick first.
I don't wanna.
Just say no.
Okay,
said
so
Alright,
the
here we go.
prizes, first the prizes are 1 million gil, 500k, 2 flying chairs, 1 zoom mount, a Byakko cub, an Eldur's horn, a wailing spirit, and a howling spirit Mog Station code for the ghost costumes, and a Mama Shiba minion. Or Mama Shiba. I don't know how to pronounce it.
All right.
Did somebody say 500k?
Yes.
Oh gosh,
They
not
That's what
this.
we
did. I heard
Um,
500K.
So, if everyone will turn their attention to Discord, under the Welcome to Sword category, you will find a giveaways channel. If you click on that channel, the most recent thing is a meeting prize giveaway that I just finished creating. You click the ta-da emote, it will register you for this giveaway. Now, I set the timer at 15 minutes. It will end at 10 after 8. And please remember, only click the emote once, or you will unregister yourself.
And all you recently promoted officers, she didn't tell you, but you're no longer eligible for prizes.
Well, yeah, just
Exception
Sylvia.
of Amrius.
Well, Amrius can because she's not technically an officer yet till tomorrow, but we wanted to tell everyone so that they knew why she was leaving and going there.
I call shenanigans.
A couple other
I-
notes for
I was
everybody.
mad when I found out.
Oh my god.
A couple other notes for everybody. Once you click on it, it should turn blue, so that you know that you've clicked on it. Also, please do not type in the giveaways chat. Just click on the emote. And
There's
yes, the most important part. We will get to you as soon as we can after it rolls out the names in the order that they appear. Each person will have a maximum of 24 hours to respond before we move on to the next person.
There's a question about where in the Discord. the
Oh,
giveaways is.
the welcome to
Just
Discord
towards the
category.
top.
Close to the very top, you have the welcome mat, the announcements, the Twitch stream info, and then giveaways.
Also, if you don't respond in 24 hours for your prize, I get it.
No.
No, we just move on to the next person. Nice try, Bagon. Nice try.
It was worth a shot.
It goes to me.
We're listening to you.
And I roll it right back in for next week. So
Oh yeah, we could just add it into the
Let's
next week,
see,
next month.
Bagon. Restrict from channels.
yes, Dark Falls tax write-off. Yes. Wow. I know how to kill the conversation. Holy crap.
They're just really focused on this
You
prize.
said tax, and everybody's like, nope. But anyway, we have less than a minute left before the meeting ends, and I'm receiving a phone call, so I will catch you guys later.
So long.
Farewell, Ad Wiedersehen, goodbye.
Close.
Yeah, whatever. It's one of those.
Also, for
Wiedersehen,
any of
Adu.
you guys that are listening.